Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I am a nutrition entrepreneur. But here's the catch. I have a full-time traditional dietitian job. My entrepreneurial endeavors are my side hustle. I've been making six figures through my job and side hustle doing things that I love. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 42nd episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Understanding You. So, you guys, if you haven't noticed already, I am a big advocate of dietitians, of students, of interns. I'm a big advocate of you. And the longer I've been around the dietitian side hustle game, talking to dietitians, hearing what holds them back from starting, I am continuing to see this root issue related to confidence, people not being confident in who they are. So I wanted to take some time today to talk about how important it is to understand who you are. We are all different. We all have different qualities, and sometimes it's easy to play the comparison game, to say, oh my gosh, look at what they're able to do, look at who they are, and you might think less of yourself. And the reality is there are so many different types of people out there in the world, and there is no one bad type of personality. There is no one bad type of person. Now, unless we're talking like, a murderer or something, we're not talking that. We're talking like standard, everyday, run-of-the-mill humans. There is no better or worse personality. We're all just different. So I really think it's helpful to build your confidence, to really understand who you are at your core, understand your personality, all of those things. So I'm going to be talking to you guys today about some personality tests. I'm going to give you some resources on where to go. But I think the first thing I want to talk about is just how you are uniquely and wonderfully made by the God of the universe. And He makes no mistakes. You are who you are at your core. Now, I'm not talking about sometimes what I prefer to wear or I prefer to eat, different things in my life change, but I'm talking about you at your core, those things that you are innately skilled at, those things that come natural to you, like who you are at your core, like you were created that way and you are perfect just the way you are. I know it can be so easy to compare ourselves to someone else and think, oh my gosh, they're so amazing. But no, you are amazing too. You are amazing exactly the way you are. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses, and that's okay. It's all about embracing who you are, really trying to focus. I do think that when it comes to building a side hustle, it's very beneficial to build your side hustle around, your personality and your strengths. Now, if you have a drive and a desire to do something and you're just not skilled at it, that's okay. You can learn how to do it. But don't play the comparison game where you're like, oh my gosh, this person's so successful, I'm going to do what they're doing because, they're doing amazing. But that's not really your jam. That's not what you want to do. So I think the more we're able to understand who we are at our core, understand our personalities, and to also appreciate who we are, to understand maybe where sometimes we got hiccups because, the areas we're not strong in, that's okay, because that's when we have people that we pull into our lives who can complement our personalities and really help us to whatever we want to achieve. So I want to start off by saying that you are amazing and you are perfect just the way you are. If you do not believe that, I will believe that about you for long enough until you start believing it about yourself. Okay, out of the way. You're amazing. That's your biggest takeaway for today. So along with you're amazing, I also want you to understand that you're enough. I think it's so easy to think, we think about the voice in our head, and not everyone struggles with this, but I know a lot of people struggle with negative self-talk. And, you got to drown out that negativity and just remind yourself constantly, even if it's every day, I am enough. I am good just the way I am. And when it comes to starting your side hustle, to go out there, to just get started, to push yourself to, do the things that you want to do and not let yourself get held back by confidence and feeling like you're not good enough or you're not enough, because you are enough. Okay, so let's move on and talk about the assessments. I recently found a wonderful website called UnderstandMe. Okay, UnderstandMe. UnderstandMe is a wonderful website. You go to the homepage, it's just got 6 different personality tests. Now, some of these are free, some of these are paid. 2 of the free ones that I'm going to recommend that you guys take are the Myers-Briggs test and the 5 love languages test. So I myself, there's also the DISC test, the Colby test, the Strength Finder test, and the Enneagram. I've done Strength Finder, Enneagram, love language, Myers-Briggs. I love personality tests. I've done them I've done them a long time ago. But I recently learned about this website, and it puts them all in one place. It's easy for you to go, easy for you to do. And I want to talk to you guys, actually. I've got my my little handy dandy notebook, and I actually have my results, and I'm going to share them with you guys and just talk a little bit about them. So when it comes to Myers-Briggs, I think a lot of people are familiar with that. There's a lot of different personality types, and they give you different letters. And so my personality type for the Myers-Briggs is I am an INFJ. INFJ. If there are any other INFJs listening right now, or if you take that assessment and you find out you're an INFJ, I sure hope that you shoot me an email, or you send me a message on Instagram, on Facebook, because I'd love to hear from you. I love meeting other INFJs. So, and what's interesting about this website is I'm actually an INFJ-A. I'd never actually seen that breakdown before with however it works. But I'm just going to go to the website and just read a little blurb off this, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that is me. And so the website, it describes, here's your personality type. It kind of explains like how you scored on all these different areas. But then it kind of tells you a little bit about your personality type, your strengths, your weaknesses. But this part here about the INFJ, they're calling them advocates. The INFJ -A are advocates. So it says that advocates are the rarest personality types of all. Still, advocates leave their mark on the world. They have a deep sense of idealism and integrity. They aren't idle dreamers. They take concrete steps to realize their goals and to make lasting impact. So I read that. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm trying to do. So I think the Myers-Briggs is great because it helps you kind of realize like, oh my gosh, this is me. These are the things I'm good at. But then again, it mentions those weaknesses, those things that maybe you got to watch out for. And I think that's entirely helpful too, because when it comes to starting your business, starting your side hustle, if we can be aware of our personalities, if we can be aware of who we are, we can identify some areas where we may fall out. Like maybe you realize, oh my goodness, I take criticism real hard. I'm going to go forward, start doing my side hustle. Haters will come. I should do a podcast episode about haters. But someone comes and they say something real mean about you on social, and you're crushed and you stop doing the thing because you're like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And we don't want that to happen for you. But if you're aware of like, okay, this is my personality. I'm very sensitive to people. I'm a people pleaser. And when people are mean, then I tend to shut down and not want to move forward. If you could understand that about yourself, when the haters come, if you do all the work ahead of time, you're just going to, it'll probably hurt your feelings. Mean people suck. Don't be mean to people online, guys. I don't think you guys are, but mean people online are, oh my goodness. But when that comes, if you're able to understand this is my personality type, you're able to better brush that off and to continue moving forward with your, with your dreams, with your business, and all the things in life. So the other test, my 5 love languages, I'll share these with you. So my top one, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different love languages. There is words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. So love languages, for those of you who aren't familiar, it just means these are the ways that we personally receive love. And it's very important to understand how you receive love, because then it also shows how we give love. And if you are in a relationship with someone, or you're married, or even if you have children or different people you care about, it's always fun to have them complete the love languages assessment too. It's entirely free. It's fun to do that because then you could understand how they feel loved, because sometimes like, okay, this is the way I feel loved, so this is how I'm going to show my love to other people, but then they might not feel it. We're not going to talk a lot about that on this podcast, but it's still really helpful to understand about yourself. So my primary love language is words of affirmation. So you guys who reach out and tell me, Katie, you're doing a good job. I love your podcast. Like, you made me laugh when you talked about General Hospital. Like, when you guys do that, it fills my heart so much. I like feel your guys' love so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, people, like, I'm making an impact. So that, is helpful to know about myself. And the piece that was my lowest ranking one was receiving gifts. So for me, physical things like getting gifts, and I'm not saying like I don't love to get a gift, but I feel more loved. I feel more appreciated when someone's saying something positive versus, getting a gift. So again, love languages, it's a free assessment on UnderstandMe. Real cool. The last one I did on there is the Enneagram. And this one was interesting because I've done the Enneagram before. That one, it's paid. It's $12. I did it. But I used to be a type 3. And then apparently it says I'm a type 9. And if you guys are anything like me, if you don't get what you want, you try to go do the assessment again to try to get a different score. Maybe that's something with my personality. But type 9 is the peacemaker. So when I did the Enneagram report, it also gave me almost too much detail about like the good and the bad about this personality type, and they're pretty brutal in the Enneagram, and they say like, oh man, I don't have it pulled up, but I wish I could share it with you because it says like really negative stuff about you, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's horrible, but a little true. So it's good to understand, because again, there's no good and bad personality types. We just are who we are. But a lot of it has to do with, how we take care of ourselves, what we tell ourselves, what we allow that mental dialogue to be, because, oh my goodness, my brain just went blank, guys. If you guys are new to the podcast, I have a commitment that I'm not editing these articles, and I am imperfect, and sometimes when I'm talking, my brain goes blank, and we're at that moment. So if it comes back to me, I'll share it. I'll probably re-listen to it and be like, oh, I know what I was going to talk about, but we're going to move on. But the whole point is that these personality tests are really helpful because it helps you to understand yourself. If you're able to better understand yourself and to really kind of hone in and appreciate who you were created to be, then it can give you more confidence. If you are feeling more confident, you're going to be more likely to start your side hustle. You're going to be more likely to follow through with your side hustle and have success with your side hustle. So your action item for today, I want you guys to actually, whenever you get off this, I want you to go to UnderstandMe, UnderstandMe, and I want you to do one of those assessments. I'd love for you to do all of them, but I would encourage you to do the Myers-Briggs and the 5 love languages, because those 2 are absolutely free. Take those assessments, read all about your personality type, people in your life, have them do it too, and kind of, get to understand deeper, like, okay, maybe this is why the way they are. Nothing wrong with that. Now I understand a little bit better. So that is my action item for you today, is to start to understand yourself a little bit more and complete those assessments. And, if you want to reach out and share with me what your results are, I'd love to hear. And also, I think the other action item is I just want you to start believing in yourself more if you have any doubt. So those are my action items for today. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast, and we'll talk next time. Bye. You guys, I'm so excited to announce that the Blogging Accelerator Program is launching again on July 17th, 2021. Now, this is a program designed to help dietitians create a blog, build massive traffic, and make money through multiple income streams, primarily passive income streams, without seeing patients. So this program is for all kinds of dietitians, whether or not you're the dietitian who has no idea what you want to do, or maybe you already have a blog, you've pushed publish, and you're still trying to figure out how to grow. This program is for you. You will learn all about how I have been able to build up my blog and bring in thousands of dollars in passive income every month without having to trade time for money. And you will start building your blog and really creating those passive income streams. I always say that blogging is a long-term game. It's not like you push publish on a blog and you get rich quick. It takes time. But the best time is now to start your blog and be on your way to making impact and money online. Go ahead and check out dietitiansidehustle.com to learn more. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast, guys. Be sure to head on over to the Dietitian Side Hustle website at dietitiansidehustle.com and check out our coaching page to learn about all the ways that we can work together. Have an amazing day, and I'm so proud of you for taking the initiative to listen to this podcast. Now go out there and get it done. Bye, guys.